It is 7:01 on Tuesday, January 11th, 2022. I'd like to call the town board, the Town of Lake Mills public hearing to order. This is in regards to the gifts and memorial policy. Is there anyone that wishes to speak on behalf of the donations policy?
Talking about the public hearing on the donation policy. Nobody here.
Going once?
I will.
Okay.
I just have to say that I think it would be a fantastic idea. So I'm kind of excited about it and glad that it's even being considered. That's it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else on the first call? The second call for anyone to publicly speak on the gifts and memorial policy. Third call for anyone to speak on behalf of the gifts and memorial policy.
Make a motion to close public hearing.
I'll
Can we get a
second the
second?
motion. Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed on the same sign. Motion carries unanimous. To close the hearing. Okay, it is 7:03, and I would like to call on January 11th, 2022, and I'd like to call the town board of the Town of Lake Mills to order.
I'll make a motion we adopt the agenda for January 11th town board meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? The only discussion I had is John Reich is in a fierce battle in the Public Works meeting right now, and he was hoping to join. Don't know if we can float that or not, or float his report. Otherwise, I can give a quick report on what's being done. I'm not even sure they're going to come to a decision tonight. So, any thoughts?
Did you want to wait until the reports, Tom?
Right. Hopefully he'll be here by then, but
Yeah, okay.
I thought it was going to happen, and then everything started regressing again when I got off the call. So, hopefully he'll make it, I guess, and I'll do my best to fill in. All in favor to approve, adopt the agenda?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries to adopt the agenda. Approval of the minutes from Tuesday, December 14th, 2021.
I'll make a motion to
Go ahead, Jim, that's fine.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the public hearing that was held on Tuesday, December 14th, 2021.
Second.
Other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed on the same sign. Motion carried unanimously to approve the December 14th, 2021 minutes. Approval
Make a
of the
motion to approve December 14th town board meeting minutes.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed on the same sign. Motion carries to approve the town board meeting minutes.
Now, when you move on to the treasurer's report, we have to remember to approve the amended December treasurer's report or disbursements and then do this month.
Okay. Well, let's start with the first one first. Can we get a motion to approve the December 21?
I'll make a motion to amend the December 2021 disbursements of $129,078.43 to $545,794.34.
No, that's wrong.
That's wrong.
It's on the top, Jim.
That's what,
It's an item.
okay, well then tell us what the numbers are. Sorry. That's what I had.
I
600.
have $674,872.77. Is that correct, Sharon?
Yes, that is correct.
Keeps going up. Okay, I'll make
Yeah.
that motion then.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposing the same sign. Motion carries to approve the December 2021 disbursements. Can we get a motion to approve the January?
Go
I'll
ahead,
make a
Dave,
motion
I'm
to-
gun shy.
What's that, Jim?
Go ahead, I'm gun shy. I got the wrong number.
Oh, no, it's fine. If you didn't see it right on the top, I'll make a
No,
motion.
we're doing the treasurer's report.
Treasurer's
Treasurer's
report.
report. My
Correct,
bad.
yeah.
Treasurer's
I'll make a
report.
motion
January
to
treasurer's
approve.
report.
January treasurer's report.
Second,
Any other discussion? All
The
in
only
favor?
thing I was wondering is the Crossman Road Reserve, the $70,686.40. I think it's okay there right now, but are we going to be looking at moving that someplace else and closing that account instead of leaving it on there like that? I know we have the guardrail left yet, but
Yeah, I don't know what kind of impact that's going to have, but
Right.
so I'll get to that in my report, but
Okay.
with legal stuff. So
yeah. I mean, we don't have to do anything with it, but I think sometime we're gonna have to do something with it.
right. Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor to approve the January 2022 Treasurer's Report, say aye.
aye.
Aye. All opposing the same sign. Motion carries unanimous to approve the Treasurer's Report for January. Okay, disperse.
I'll make a motion to
Yep, there we go.
approve January 11th disbursements of
Disbursements. Yep.
$1,979,306.88.
Second,
Any other discussion?
The only thing I was wondering, and maybe this is more for your highway report, Tom, is of course, memories always fail you once in a while, but if I thought when we approved R.A. Smith to do the engineering for Crossman Road, I thought we had approved $60,000. And Robin, I didn't add up all these R.A. Smith bills, but I'm assuming it's the $84,557.89.
Yeah, I'm not gonna add that on the spot.
They're all mixed in there. So as far as the actual engineering costs.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know, I guess the next time we just have to remember that, when we have an engineer, I think we're gonna have to kind of keep up to make sure that if it does go over what we made a motion, that the engineer lets us know that, so we can amend it or change it or something.
And I can ask, I can ask Corey those questions too, and what change orders were there, because I just being familiar with it, I think there was some re-engineering with some of those manholes and things like that.
Yeah,
Going
yeah.
on. So,
yeah, I know we kind of approved those on the fly, so, and I'm sure it added to the cost, but that was my only question.
yeah, it kind of did nickel and dime a little bit. I'm not disagreeing with you there. I wish it would have been more cut and dry on this guardrail thing too. But, and it probably could have been, but it just didn't materialize. And that could have been a little bit of short-sightedness on R.A. Smith's end too, as far as the Wisconsin DOT, updates on that.
Right.
All in favor to approve the January 11th, 2022 disbursements?
aye.
Opposing the same sign. Motion carries to approve the disbursements.
Tom, we also skipped the approval of the town expense sheets. I don't know if anybody has any.
Yeah, we're good. Yep. Sorry, I'm a little out of order here.
Yeah, jump the gun.
Fighting my desk.
No one submitted anything, but if someone's got one to share, We didn't prepare any checks for it,
I don't have any.
but I don't have one this month myself.
Yeah, you get lucky once in a while, I guess. All right, reports. I think we're through all this. Let me see here. Chief Miller.
For the month of December, we had 76 hours of road patrol hours. We handled 8 complaints, spent 10.5 hours on those complaints, took 2 people into custody. We had 25 traffic stops, issued 11 traffic warnings, 16 traffic citations, spent 17 hours of stationary radar, did 8 residence and business checks, 25 park checks, and 11 extra patrols. I also like to inform the town board that about a month ago, I submitted a letter to the town chair announcing my retirement from the township on April 1st of this year. I want to thank the town board for all the support that they've given the police department and myself over the years, previous and current town boards. And I really enjoyed working with people. I didn't really want to do this over Zoom, but we're stuck with this with COVID. So, but I want to thank you guys for all the support you gave us, myself and the officers that work for the township. I will be giving as much advice and assistance as I can to the town in their assistance in picking a new replacement for chief of police. Thank you.
Thank you there.
Thanks, Chief.
Matt, could you give us a little bit of an update on our squad and where we're at with that after the accident? Is it still runnable?
Oh yeah, it's just more cosmetic damage.
Oh, okay.
Robin, how much was the estimate? Was it a little over 3,000, I believe, for the damage?
The total amount after they took the $500 deductible off, we have a check for $3,980.87.
And it goes in January 31st
Okay.
for the repairs. It's all scheduled and ready to be repaired. But the squad's usable and we've been using it. Also for Knickerbocker, I did secure a UTV from the county sheriff's department that we use. And we're providing 2 officers on Knickerbocker on the ice during the festival.
Good.
That's about it.
We're gonna miss you, Matt.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, we will. That is for sure. It's a blessing to have you that many years in the township. Plan Commission report, Jim.
We didn't have a meeting in January, so there's no report.
Excellent. Cambridge Fire and EMS report.
We had met on the 22nd of December, and a lot of that was closed session. We went over the union contract page by page, lots of fun. Coming out of the closed session back into open session, the contract was approved unanimously, and we're still going to be well within our budget, so that looks good. The other thing I want to bounce off Tom and Jim is we have a special meeting on the 13th, so it'll be Thursday, I believe. And I don't know exactly what's all on it, but on the agenda, they're talking about funding of the promotions for the new fire station. And I don't feel comfortable making this decision myself. So before, and I don't know what the presentation is going to be, but I'd like to get you guys' feeling on what your thought was. My thought is that the town of Lake Mills and the village of Rockdale, our referendums passed. So the promotion is more going to be geared to the town of Oakland, the village of Cambridge, and the town of Christiana. So I know we're all in this as a group, but I'm really not sure if that we're responsible for financially supporting that promotion. So I don't know, before I sit in this meeting, I'm kind of curious what you guys think. it gets expensive. I saw a couple numbers, 20,000 to 50,000, depending on who they're looking at, but I don't know all the details. I'll find that out on Thursday. Yeah, that's what
Yeah, I think I would want to approve. I mean, I think that we would want to approve that, obviously, but that's just my stance.
Yeah, Jim, you have a opinion?
Well, we already approved it at town board level for the referendum itself and the move ahead with the $6.5 million fire station. So like you said, Dave, we already passed it, but you know, we're in this as a group and we're one of the 5 owning municipalities. So I think to not contribute would be a mistake. I think we're part of the fire department. So I think we should, we only pay 3.5%.
3%, something.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
Right.
I think we have a duty to support the other 3 that didn't get it passed. My
Sure.
opinion.
Okay. All right. I'll see what happens, but I just wanted to bounce it off you guys before you stick your foot in your mouth or something, you know?
As long as that number doesn't increase even more. I mean,
Right.
No, I tried to get them out in the last meeting, what number they settled on. And it looked, what I was getting the feeling of is they were looking at 6.3 million is what their referendum is looking at. So yeah, I agree. As long as it's not more than 6.5. So, all right, I'll take that back with me, I guess. Thank you, by the way.
yep, thank you. Joint Rock Lake Committee report. I don't believe they met in January here yet. Is there a report, Wendy? Thought I saw Wendy on the line. Wendy? Oh, she's trying to talk. I see her.
I think I'm off mute. Yeah, our meeting isn't till this Thursday. So we don't have a meeting yet to report on.
Okay. I just want to say that there was some last minute correspondence that came in on from Susan about the PFAS business. And I was down at the city last Friday and that discussion came up as part of the fires discussion. And essentially I asked, you know, what if we need to help, if the town needs to step in and help, or what kind of help can we offer? And basically I was told by the city manager, advised by the city manager, that this is really not our issue. It's a county issue. It's not a small township or small township issues. So my feeling at this point in time is that, you know, we should stand still. Obviously, I haven't heard anything from the county. The county didn't reach out to the town clerk. I know that because we would all have seen that if they did. So I'm not sold 100% on, you know, what's going on after the discussion, after discussing it with the city, as far as the foam is concerned. Granted, somewhere down the road, you know, hopefully there's going to be technology to improve the recycling of this material. I think you all know as well as I do. I mean, even when you're looking at, you know, outdated plutonium, it ends up somewhere, right? Because somebody gets paid out to stick it in that cavern or something to put it there. And is that really the right thing to do? And I kind of hesitate that the stuff isn't going anywhere. It's in a county storage container is what I was informed. So I don't think there's any rush here. And I hesitate to embark a little bit at paying a grant writer overall fee at a percentage, not knowing in detail like what kind of X number of figure this is going to be and what really is going to be involved in it. I think you'd have to see all that first before you make a decision on that. I mean, it's shooting from the hip to pay out money and not even know who you're dealing with when this stuff, you know, gets written. So this is not something that the committee was asked to work on. And I would say that, it's probably in our best interest that those communications stop, because the last thing I want to do is jeopardize any of the rebuilt relationships between the town and the city. And it's been going pretty good thus far in our efforts, and they are listening. Maybe not to everything. We're not always going to agree on everything, but I think those continued relationships are key for the entirety of the community. And the last thing I wanted to do is jeopardize any kind of, expenses that we might incur from a fire service, because it is a service to the township. And we pay for that. We pay for that service. And I know as well as anybody, when people are not happy with you, costs just mysteriously seem to go up. And we definitely don't want that to happen. So this to me was really a township or a town board issue to begin with anyway. So if we were to be approached, it should have been, we should have been approached by the county directly. That's all I have on that. And that's just in response to some of the correspondence that's been going out to the different fire department individuals. Road maintenance report. So I got several things on my list quickly. I'll start off with Crossman, just as that one's fresh in her head here. Corey did approach the Crossmans. It kind of was the same old spinning wheel, broken record. I didn't really get anywhere with them. Didn't get any affirmation that they wanted to work with us. Unfortunately, because this is in the best interest of public safety, overall public safety. They seem to want to be highway engineers, which they're not. And, Hope actually did us a favor by putting this entire deal together. And, we're just in the execution phase of it, hoping in the administration, past administration. So it was a blessing that was all put together. And it's just really unfortunate that we can't get the cooperation. And now we're probably going to end. It is inevitable that, we're forced to go and try to get that permanent easement through a different method, which can be, obviously more costly, and there's a bigger process to it. Now we can do nothing. And, when the lawsuits start, who do you direct them at? I mean, I know who I'm going to direct them at because we're trying to do our job. But, obviously we don't want it to get to that point. We want to do what's right and get a guardrail up there, and the right one that's approved by the state. So it is in the best, interest of the public safety that hopefully they do come around and cooperate with us. But I'm not going to give it too much more time before that happens. And honestly, I don't think we need to go and approach them anymore. Corey's already talked to them twice. So I don't know if there's any other feelings on that one or any questions on that.
Well, I guess my only comment is, have they been told that, it's gonna be expense on their side too? I mean, this thing, if we go the process of eminent domain and take the land, they're gonna have to hire attorneys. So I guess
Corey was really thorough.
Be sure that was put up to them clearly.
Yep. Yeah, and we can reiterate that, but he's really thorough in this, and he's done it before. So he knows, he explained to me everything that went on. So I mean, I can follow up with them again, but I just, at this point, you're getting the same thing out of them every time. That the road should have been redesigned and this and that, and it should have went a different direction. And it's all like, we're not going backwards, right? It was done the right way, and it was engineered the right way in the end.
I would recommend that we perhaps reiterate all of what Corey said to them in an official letter to them, to start sort of a paper trail of the communication between them and the town, just in case we, for some reason, need it. That way, if they want to communicate, they can do the same, do it in writing, so we have something to work off of.
Yep. That sounds good to me. So that's a Crossman Road report. Rock Lake Road report, as long as we're on those roads, he's got all the paperwork essentially done for recycling the grant. So that should get submitted on time here. So everything is coming together there. So there was a lot of quick work by Corey and Brian from the county, because I know he gets swamped by these things. So we'll just kind of see where that goes. Conte, a design did come in for that. I did talk to Corey about that. He said a rough cost is approximately going to be $5,000 on that. I think that the board has to, digest the design and everything, and then maybe we put closure to this here in February, as to how we want to handle that. Seems somewhat reasonable to me. The only thing I don't like is going under driveways, but it seems to me if you have the right contractor, it all goes well, according to our engineer. That's all I have on Conte. Brushing is the little bit we got done in December. And I did talk to Jason Forrest. He is still planning on to meet with the county on the brine thing. He just ran out of time last year, being backed up so much. So he is going to set that up, and I'm going to leave that to him to set that up in the next month or two here. Not as optimistic that there will be a small trial this year, but this is a process. It's not something that happens overnight to begin with. So you really have to go in and hear everything before you make a decision on it. But it would be nice to have something else in the toolbox, especially late season, when people get sick of road sanding and things like that. So that is it for the roads report. ETZ committee. I don't know if we had a meeting for that or not.
No, nothing.
Parks committee, no meeting. And we are now to the period of public comment. This is the time for the public to comment. I know I'm going to offer the first one up to John Wright, because I think I saw him on the phone because I skipped it on the agenda, so he can give a report.
I'll ask the question.
Hi, everyone.
I have the Helixons here that would like to comment during the next item, the Rick
Okay.
Takas. Is that okay?
Excellent.
All right.
I want to get John out of here. He's just spent a couple of hours in the public works meeting, so.
Yeah, hi, everyone. So, hey, I just came from the Public Works Board meeting, where, as you guys know, I'm the town rep on the board, the city board. The big meaty item that came up, it's been being talked about for months, and was actually at city council after a board recommendation going one way and then the council sending it back this month, is the development and cost and spending and picking options for a new wastewater treatment plant that has been, the need has been triggered by the DNR setting new standards for phosphates being discharged from wastewater treatment plants. Right now, our wastewater treatment plant, and of course, this is a combined thing with the city and the town. It's one sewage district. But right now we discharge into Rock Creek, close to the fish hatchery, and apparently now we're putting in, we're not meeting the standard anymore. So the city's been working with their consulting firm, Strand Engineering. They've come up with 3 different options, all of them very, very costly. Option 1, 2, 3. 1 is essentially phase in and do the very minimal. 2 is kind of a medium compromise, and 3 is essentially deserting the current wastewater treatment plant and constructing a brand new one. It's kind of the gold-plated option. And so at the Tom, I don't know if you were still there or saw the vote, but we decided to vote on option 2 as a compromise, and it didn't pass. The vote was 3-3. And then Mr. Waters, the chair of the city council, asked that we vote on option 3. So we voted on option 3. All the ayes turned into nays and all the nays turned into ayes, and it was once again no decision. So I guess we kind of punted this down the road to the city council. The big thing, just to let everyone here know, the big thing is that regardless of what happens, this is something where the DNR has kind of moved the goalposts and then told all the players that they're the ones that have to pay for the difference. And ratepayers, sewer ratepayers their rates are essentially gonna go between up by a factor of 60% to maybe even over 200, up to 250%. It's all gonna be paid at this point unless the state comes up with some money, the EPA comes up with some money, that type of thing. There's loans, there's grants, and we're way too early for this. But that's the situation. The Public Works Board, I've been on the Public Works Board for off and on for almost 10 years, and this was kind of the most contentious meeting I had ever been to. I think it was a very vital thing. I've never seen so many arguments going back and forth. It was all very civil, but it all ended up in no decision. So, Tom, I know you were there for most of it remotely. I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
I do not. I just so the board's aware, there was 2 price differences, or I should say, as far as the increase to the residents, the fee increase. Option 3 was like an immediate 100% increase, and option 2 was a phase in, so you didn't have to incur all those fees at once. Which I don't know why you'd want 100% fee increase. I mean, it's basically doubling is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
On their projections. So I'm not, I'm not 100% sure on the entirety of the differences of the plans, but I will say is you can say you have the best plan in the world and you get into the thing 10 years and you might have to reinvent the wheel anyway. I mean, nobody's that good. So I think, I'm in more favor of a phase-in deal. But obviously we don't want to be rebuilding plants every 20 years either. I mean, that's
no,
not what anybody wants. So that's all I have to say on it.
Yep.
John, I have a question.
Sure.
And obviously when they're going in, dumping into the water stream there now, there's not enough dilution for the phosphates that they're delivering. So if they get where they can drop into the rock or the crawfish, how does, and you may not know this, but how does the DNR keep track of if you have 10 municipalities dumping into that same river? Don't you kind of have the same problem?
Yeah, I'm no expert on it either. But yeah, the crawfish, and that is one of the options, building a new, essentially a transfer pump system all the way to the crawfish north of I-94. And the crawfish has a lot more dilution capability just because it's a much larger body of water. But that said, Rock Creek, where the stuff is going in now, that ends up in the Crawfish River a little bit further downstream, I think, with our current situation.
Right. Yeah.
This is also part of this is that there's lots of other municipalities that they don't dump into a little tiny thread of a ditch that Rock Creek is,
right,
where we get into it, and that's really the key thing. I don't think my question was more fundamental. What are we doing sitting here trying to figure out how we're going to finance, a gigantic treatment change that has essentially been foisted upon us by the DNR, by them. Last year we were great. This year they moved the goalposts and all, when you move the goalposts, you gotta give some financing too. So anyway, I don't know how the council's going to act on this. They're meeting next week on this, but this affects everyone in the town who's on who's on the sewer line, and your typical, if I look at my sewer bill, I think I pay $7.50 1,000 gallons per thousand. And if what they're, if they go into this option 3, which is what it's going to, the option 3 is going to cost, it's going to be almost triple. Your rate's going to go from $7.50 1,000 to it's going to be $25 1,000. The annual cost for the average ratepayer is going to go from $500 to $1,400 a year. So there's a contingent on the Public Works Board that wanted to go slow and phase it in, and then there were the guys that just wanted to tear the Band-Aid off as quickly as possible. And I think all of this is done without, and we talked about this as well. No one has been looking. The consultants, that type of thing, they talk about what kind of revenue is going to be brought in by the ratepayers, but they have no point of view of how this is going to change for the average ratepayer in town. Revenue is going to go up by a few $1 million, but it's going to be triple the rate. And I don't know, I guess you could argue that $7.50 1,000 may not be expensive. I know it's not going to change my lifestyle, but there's a lot of people that it's going to that could really hit hard.
Yeah. And I think the one thing to mention too, John, is we were not eligible, it didn't sound like, for funding on it because of our.
Yeah, I didn't realize we lived in such a wealthy community. We're not eligible, yeah.
But yeah, during a heavy inflationary period, which is probably, that trend's not going to change over the next couple of years. It's going to be a tough thing to swallow for a lot of households, for sure. And thanks for your efforts on it. I know it was a battle. I sat through the last couple of minutes. So,
okay.
Thanks, John.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Jim, we have the people behind you.
They'll speak when the Ritaka comes up.
Oh, okay, they're going to
Dog
wait.
kennel.
Okay, do we have anyone else for the period of public comment? Going once, going twice. Okay, moving on. Application, discussion or decision or request made by Melissa Ritaka for conditional use permit for a dog kennel, boarding, daycare, breeding for an in-home occupation A3 zone on County Road A. This was tabled from December. I'm not sure Robin, we didn't get another plan, did we, for this?
No, I have not received any updated plans from the applicant.
Gotcha.
Tom, she's here.
What's that?
She's here. She's right.
Okay, but we didn't get any hard copies or anything to look at prior to the
We were
meeting.
gonna give them to you tonight until we found out it was Zoom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to have, it's nice to have these
You wanna
things.
read it to them so they can put it in the minutes?
Yeah, I can leave a copy, with, I don't
Jim.
know, with Jim. Because I made copies for all the town members, but we didn't know that the meeting was going to be Zoom. So I can leave a copy with him.
Okay, well, the town clerk will get us the copies. It's nice to have meeting materials well prior to the meeting.
We know.
Then trying to
This was
figure
Zoom
things
before we
out
just got
during,
here.
then trying to
Can we
figure,
Zoom it to you somehow? Can you scan this to them? Can you scan it to them somehow?
no.
No?
So from the prior meeting, you guys had said that the waste, you wanted some more information about the dog waste. And so I had talked with Debbie at John's Disposal on January 3rd, and it is totally acceptable to bag dog waste and throw it into our residential cart for weekly pickup. So our current cart is 95 gallons, and that will hold up to 200 pounds. If the dog waste would ever exceed that cart capacity, we could then look into a 2-yard dumpster with John's disposal, which would be about 4 to 5 carts. And then we could have that emptied once a month, every other week, or weekly. And another item you wanted me to look further into was cleaning and the waste, pickup. So outdoor pickup will be done hourly. If accidents happen indoors, they will be cleaned up immediately and disinfected. And indoor kennels will be mopped nightly with disinfectant, and all food and water bowls will be washed nightly. And another issue was the noise. We would place a barking dog inside of our outbuilding, train the dog. We could possibly put outdoor panels up, use a bark collar, and if none of these options would change the dog's behavior, that dog would not be welcomed back. And then you also wanted me to look into the State Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection. And basically, we are able to sell 25 dogs per year without having a state breeding license. If we get to the point that it is more than 25 dogs, we would obtain a breeding license from the state.
Does the board have any other questions?
Did you want to comment? Yes. Tom, you got Mike Alex in here who'd like to say something.
Oh,
Mike,
okay.
here's your-
Hi, Mike Ellison here, N5604 County Road A. And I, just like our neighbors here, had no idea this was a Zoom meeting until now, so I apologize that we're taking up Jim's desk space. As I voiced previously, I think our main concern is the noise. I appreciate the fact that they're are acknowledging that. I'm not convinced, however, that proper measures are being taken to address it. I don't think we're dealing with necessarily one bad act kind of canine issue. I just got a call, for instance, from one of our other neighbors yesterday who called us to maybe conducting some sort of coyote remediation because every time the coyote goes through their yard from our yard, it drives her dogs nuts. So these are the kinds of things that we deal with in our neighborhood. And when you add 16 outdoor dogs into the mix, there's no possible way that you're going to control that. And it doesn't take just one bad actor. So that I'd really like to be on the note. I think that they're acknowledging it. I just don't think that the recipe is getting to the fix yet. Thank you.
Go back in.
Thanks, Mike.
I'm back. I'm the husband, Ryan. If we have 16 dogs outside and all 16 start barking, all 16 will be moved indoors. That's what will happen. I'm not going to listen to nuisance barking either. So that's where I stand.
It wasn't the total, Jim, was the total number of the dogs was 32 though, wasn't it? That you could house 16 inside.
32 will probably never hit that number. We're asking for 8 kennels outside, 8 kennels inside, up to 2 dogs per kennel. which will probably never happen, but just in case, we're going on the upper side of it. I can easily fit 32 dogs inside my building, and these neighbors, how far away do you live? A mile, roughly?
Not even,
Over half a mile.
probably from your house. to house.
Okay, and the outside would be on the opposite side of the barn is that. They would not hear the dogs barking inside the building. Next. You're good.
Okay, I guess everybody here has said what they want to say, so it's up to the board to discuss it now. Unless you have any specific questions to Melissa.
Well, and another note too, I mean, the neighbors, they're extremely close to the chicken farm. So you have those chicken fans running.
How many decibels do they put out? I mean, that's not with this. We don't need to talk about that.
That's a separate
Yeah,
issue.
that's
That's
a
the whole,
separate issue.
yeah, that's,
We're
that
talking
is
about-
a-
we're
But
talking about
it's
dogs.
it's noise. though.
It's noise.
It's noise.
You're-
So the chicken farm is separate from the
It's a
dogs.
different issue.
It's a totally different issue.
But how loud is that? What's the decibels
There's
there?
been different.
all right, order. It's,
Okay.
we're not
And-
talking apples to
Nope,
apples.
I understand.
And how many residents did this,
Notice.
that our notice that we're asking for get sent to? Like approximately how many residents?
How many neighbors received the notice that we're want to put up a count?
Nobody from the town got notice. The only one that would have got sent out notices would have been the county. I mean, I got a notice on the other one, the doctor that got
Yeah,
kennel license. We just got that notice because they went to the county. So,
right.
but I don't know if that just goes to the town board or if it does go to the neighbors. Steve
That
Nass.
only goes, yeah, that only goes to the town board. The notification that the town residents get is the notification that's on the agenda or during the public hearing notices that get posted and published on the website.
Yeah.
Okay,
Your
so-
answer is nobody.
Nobody?
Nobody.
So we got one neighbor complaining though, out of how many neighbors we have. Some of them very close, much closer than you.
He's not complaining yet.
He's
concerned.
complaining.
He's concerned. So, okay. I have a question though. On your breeding operation, you said you're only gonna breed purebred dogs, correct?
Correct.
Purebred
German short hair pointers.
And are they gonna be registered?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
They'll be registered, they'll be chipped. They'll be vaccinated, they'll be taken care of well.
Your hours of operation, did you give any thoughts
No,
to
tell 'em
the
that.
specific hours?
So, yep, I think I said that at the last meeting. So the check-in would be 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., checkout 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
So Lizzie,
Okay.
make sure the paperwork that you leave for the town board members have the hours of operation noted on there if they aren't, please.
Okay, I have a copy of what she just read to you, and the hours are put on that, and talks about dog breeding, waste removal, and the waste pickups, which were the issues that we had at the last meeting. I guess this is conditional use. So the conditions which she has addressed here. My notes from the town, what I would like to have sent along would be that feces is to be disposed of properly in a weekly garbage pickup and not allowed to be spread on land or buried, which she stated that they will put it in the garbage. Excuse me, breeding is only allowed with purebred registered dogs, which she just said they're purebred. And noise complaints violating town ordinance 3-1 public nuisances may result in suspension or revocation of the kennel license. Those are the three things I'd like sent along. I do have those, Robin, and I can send them to you if they're approved. And,
I would 100% agree with that. The noise still is a concern. I mean, it's not just one person that I know a kennel that raises purebred police dogs up north, and you can hear it 5 miles away. When those dogs start barking, they all start barking, and it does happen. So it's very difficult to control. It's never an easy thing. And I would love to say you can't plan on, you may never hit max capacity, but you have to be prepared for it. Because if you hit max capacity, even if you hit, over 50%, you might say you can cram a lot of dogs inside, but I can guarantee you, you're going to run into a serious liability issue with customers if they're, it's going to be a problem.
With that said, if you're still worried about the noise, I'd like to move forward with this. I will remove the outside kennels and keep all the dogs inside. Do you think you'll be able to hear them through an 8-inch insulated metal building? I don't think so.
okay,
Jim,
I did look in our public nuisance ordinance 3-1, and it has a paragraph specifically for noise from dogs and things like that. So
Yep.
to refer it back to that, and
Yep.
our police officers can enforce
Yep.
that. And it may.
I agree. That needs to be in there, though.
Yeah.
It's a lot of dogs. I talked to a couple veterinarians, and he said it's a lot of dogs.
What do you think is a fair number then?
It's just,
What do you think is a fair
It's-
number then?
well, I'd have to look into
You
it.
don't, you don't have a fair number?
No, I don't think you can. I mean, it's a
You
lot.
said 32 is too many. What's a fair number? I'm asking.
I'm just
you.
saying that came from some professionals. So I'm just saying, and they deal with a lot of animals usually. So with a lot of handlers.
Okay.
But that's it. I think, Jim, I think your provisions are great on this one, spot on. And I think that, it can go to the county because inevitably, I mean, it's part of our ordinances, and our ordinances will be enforced. So
I make a motion to approve the conditional use permit for Eliza Ritaka with the conditions that I just stated will be sent along, and the letter that she gave us will also be sent.
Second.
any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed in the same sign. Motion carries unanimously to move that forward with the conditions. Okay, discussion or decision of request made by AS Stores LLC, Rahul Shah, president of Lake Mills Travel Plaza.
Got a question here, Robin. This will be sent to the county in the next, day or so, a week?
Yeah, I usually start the process of getting that over to the county tomorrow. I scan everything in, but I'll run up to the hall tomorrow morning and pick those papers up that they left,
Okay.
and we'll go from there.
Okay, then I'll leave you a print of the ones that I just read off too. It'll be
Okay,
all
that
sitting
works.
there. So then
Sounds good.
tomorrow. Okay, thanks.
Nope, we're on to the next thing. I think Jim's talking there though. So. Robin, did you have any input on this one? I don't know if Matt had time to do background on any of this.
Well, we've got the application. They're looking for the
Anything more? Thank you.
class, sorry, I don't have all of it in front of me here. The Class A liquor and malt license. They're looking for a non-intoxicating license. They have a manager. Or no, they have the appointment of the agent. And then, of course, a tobacco and cigarette license that they're looking to approve. Is there a firm date on the sale of the property, Laura? You're on mute yet.
Here we go.
There you
Let me find my button. Like I said, Robin, I got tossed into this Zoom meeting today unexpectedly, and I did not get a date from him. but I can certainly confirm with him. He had another meeting that he had to be at tonight, and he was traveling to get there. So I apologize for not having that exact date. But I know they're waiting on our license before we would set the date, but that would be within days.
Okay,
That's just the holdup on it. Because there was no point in closing on it and then not being able to sell the most products that we sell in a truck stop.
mhm. So I believe if I'm reading this correctly, hopefully I get the names correct. Michiel Shaw, he would be the owner. Did I
Yep,
get that right? Okay.
yep. Everybody calls him Mo.
Mo, okay.
Yeah.
And the agent is Davinder Singh,
Devinder.
vendor, okay.
Yep, it's okay.
And
Took
then
me a while.
the manager be Praveen Singh.
Yep.
Okay, so
Parveen.
we would need to approve the manager's license, and he did provide his server's certificate.
Yep.
And we can put the condition on that manager's license. Matt, I don't know if you're still on here. We'll run that background check.
I'm still here, Robin.
Yeah. The one thing we do need from you, Laura, as I went through all the paperwork here, we have a specific operator's license that works just for the operators and the manager.
Yep.
And Mr. Singh did not fill that specific form out, and we do need that.
The operator one?
Correct. He needs to
Okay.
use that for the manager's license as well.
Okay,
I missed
Not
that. That was my mistake on
not a
that.
problem.
He provided the auxiliary questionnaire, but not that application.
Okay. All right. I can get that to you probably first thing in the morning, Robin.
So we, as a board, we could put the condition that he passes the background check on that manager's license before we issue it.
Correct.
I don't
Give it-
foresee a problem, but it's all the protocol.
We get a motion on this one?
So
I know
you're looking for, is there a motion required for item B? I guess that's, or a C. You're asking for a decision on the request for an agent appointment, right? Manager's license.
Yeah, I guess there's not a,
First one, there's no motion required.
no required RMB. So see a discussion and request an agent appointment and manager license for A&S stores. Yep. Let's see.
Make a motion to approve the agent appointment and manager's license for A&S Stores LLC at Lake Mills Truck Plaza. Is this the one that's conditioned on approval from police?
Correct.
Correct.
With the approval of the police chief.
Second,
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposing the same sign, carry, motion carries unanimous on the request for agent appointment and manager license for A&S on the conditions. All right, discussion or decision request for tobacco retailer license for A&S Stores LLC at the Lake Mills Truck Plaza.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor? All in favor on the decision to request tobacco retailer's license to approve that, say aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye. All opposing the same sign. Motion carries unanimously to approve the tobacco retailer license. Discussion or decision or request for non-intoxicating soda license for A&S Stores LLC at the Lake Mills Truck Plaza.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second the motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor to approve the non-intoxicating soda license for A&S stores, say aye.
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 Aye. All opposing the same sign. Motion carries unanimously to approve the non-intoxicating soda license for A&S stores. Discussion and or decision of request for operator's license for Heidi Albertini and Becky Schumacher for the Knickerbocker Ice Festival's picnic license event.
I just want to let Laura know that you're all set to go. So,
Okay,
Great,
perfect.
thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, Robin. Just moving fast, that's all. Zoom, I guess. Zoom.
Stay warm, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good night.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the operators licenses for Heidi Albertini and Becky Schumacher for the Knickerbocker Ice Festival picnic license event.
Second,
Any other discussion?
I'm assuming they're already approved city servers.
Yes, that is my understanding. We still are going to have Matt do a background check before I issue.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, with the condition that you get a background approval from the police chief.
All in favor, say, oop, you got it.
Go ahead.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposing the same sign. Motion with the amendment carries.
You did get an insurance certificate, correct?
Yes, I have. Thanks.
Okay.
Yep, I saw it.
Discussion and or decision of forming a committee with appointments to serve on the town hall, which has been tabled. I'm not sure there's been anybody new that's applied, unless Robin knows of somebody.
None.
Move on. Discussion or decision of driveway permit review for North 6620 Crowville Road owned by Amanda and Brian Wallace.
And it looks like Amanda is on if we have questions.
Okay, I did, well, we got copies of the driveway permit from their engineer, and I did talk to him before he prepared this, and we went over all the items that town was looking at them addressing. So they provided the drawing with the extra turnout lane, which is on the curve, the dog leg curve there. That's 20 feet wide. It's a 50-foot radius. And then you go up by their buildings, and our ordinance allows two ways, either the 100-foot turnaround cul-de-sac situation or a 60-foot square box. And they provided the one with the 60 by 60 box up by their home. The other thing that the engineer did add was a culvert about 225 feet from the Crowville Road to the east, to the low spot, to take the water from the south side to the north side of the driveway, I think, or one way or the other.
Yeah, that's the way it would flow. Like I said,
Right.
I looked at that, and that's
That's
going to
what
be nothing
Tom-
but a benefit to the owner because
Right.
it will wash out.
Yeah, because we don't have any control over that culvert because it's way out of the right of way, but for their own safety and a mushy driveway, good idea.
Oh, absolutely, especially if something does happen and
Yep.
you get a weather event or whatever. So,
I just wanted to add that that culvert is in the plan at 125 feet from the edge of Crowville Road. And so we do have some straw, not 225. So the 225 is where we have it kind of dipping down for more drainage, kind of a safety net there. So the culvert would be at 125. And we do have a plan to put it in. Back in December, we had put some straw there to kind of keep it, from freezing. And I mean, with the weather that we've had the last couple of weeks, like there's no way we're probably going to be able to dig that until the spring. But the engineer did mention that the way it's worded in the ordinance is not right now a requirement the way that it is. And so if it's okay with everybody here, We'll plan at this point likely to wait until the spring to put that in, but it is in our plan. Like I said, we've got the straw there. We know right where it needs to be. We've contacted the culvert company already. So they were closed also until the new year. So our plan is to put that in the spring when things thaw out again. And then the top gravel will address everything else listed in the plan.
Excellent.
Okay,
Looks great to me.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor to approve the driveway permit for Amanda and Brian Wallace, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposing the same sign. Motion carries unanimously to approve the driveway permit.
Do we have Robin, do we have a stamp that you could stamp these approved and have Tom sign them for them?
What I can do, we don't have a stamp, but we could put a letter notifying them of the approval and just put it all into the records along with the original driveway permit and a copy of the minutes.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right.
Turned out it's going to be a benefit to them for sure, the way this was done. Thanks, Jim, for your vigilance on that. Discussion or decision of developing a town donations policy. We only heard one during the public domain on this one, which was appreciative of it. I think everything else looks in order.
I would make a motion to approve approve it for publication. That's right? We're not gonna approve it tonight, but, or are we? Has it been published yet?
No, it can be approved tonight and then once it can go in effect once it's actually published.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance on gifts and memorial policy.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposing the same sign. Motion carries unanimous to approve the gifts and memorial policy. Discussion or decision of the town fee schedules.
I only have a question on the resolution, Robin. You got some dates? You got some dates in here, December 10th, 2019.
Oh,
Two
okay, did I
places.
miss one?
It's the last paragraph, therefore let it be resolved.
Oh, yep.
And then right before your signature on the bottom, this is to certify that, resolution was adopted that date.
So we'll update the dates.
Good eye, Jim. I never even saw that.
So to get discussion going, I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution 2022-0111 Town of Lake Mills fee schedule.
I will second it.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposing the same sign. Motion carries to approve the fee structure 2022-0111.
I'm gonna get signatures. You're gonna leave it at town hall?
I will correct those dates and then, yes, I will leave this and that last ordinance at the town hall for signatures.
Okay.
Discussion or decision of amendments to Town Ordinance 524 Special Events Application and Fee Structure. Fee structure, sorry.
Now, I took Tom's suggestions and put them into the ordinance and the application the best I could for the sake of the flow. There was already some information on the application that was sort of duplicate from what Tom had listed, so I sort of put them together so it worked better.
I make a motion to approve the Town of Lake Mills special events ordinance as amended.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposing, the same sign. Motion carries to approve the amendment to the town ordinance.
Okay, so for next month, that will go to public hearing, and then like this last ordinance you just dealt with, it will go to approval at the town board following the public hearing that same night.
Got to do this application fee separate.
Oh. You want to do the application separate, you said?
Yeah, it was, we did the ordinance, not the, unless I missed
Okay.
something.
I'll make a motion to approve the Town of Lake Mills special events application and permit form as amended.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposing, the same sign. Motion carries unanimous to approve the special events application fee structure. All right, discussion or decision of RFP for town hall cleaning service.
I reached out to a few different services in the area. There was a lady that lived fairly nearby to Lake Mills that was very interested. I showed her the hall. She said she'd submit a proposal. She did not as of the December meeting, so I reminded her again to get one in before this meeting, and she never did send anything in. So we have nothing to work from tonight.
Yeah, I don't envy you on this one because I think with COVID going on, I think whoever's left is swamped.
Well, and we have people that are wanting to use the hall. In fact, the homeowners association in Short Hills, Meredith Weir, has asked about using the hall, and they even said they would do the cleaning afterwards if necessary. But there's people that want to use the hall, so we need to figure something out as soon as we can, or decide not to rent it at all.
Right. Well, I mean, now's not, next month or two is probably not the best time anyway, but till we get over the hump again.
I do need probably
Number
some
three. Number three.
Yeah. I probably need a little directive as far as whether or not to allow the homeowners association then to use the hall in February.
It's still open, right? I mean, we haven't officially closed it at all. I would think it's fine. I think they're a reasonable group. So
Yeah, as long as they're willing to clean up after and they understand it, it's the condition that it's in.
it's
is
probably
what it
better
is.
that way anyway. I mean, for people to do it that way. It's, you know,
Okay.
so they're, I mean, as long as we're dealing with reputable groups that we know. we
It's a
can-
local group too, so,
And hold accountable, right?
right.
I'll mow the lawn. I'll shovel the sidewalks and, so I kind of forgot this 2-inch storm. I never, last year Hope and I switched off, and, I got up here the other day and I realized, hey, it's winter. And, so I will stay on top of that a little bit better and get the sidewalks shoveled at least.
I got it for you, Jim, last time.
I could have asked, I guess.
Okay, thanks.
I guess I could
Yeah,
have
no
asked,
problem.
I guess I could have asked Steve Wilkie if he wanted to do that for us.
Well, somebody must do the street sidewalk with a vehicle of some sort.
Yeah, whoever does that, they do it with the snow blower, and thank you very much. That's nice.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's probably the city because they own this lot right south of here, so.
Yep.
Anyway, I'll get on that, do that better.
And when we do have people that use the hall, I always make sure there's a broom out for them to use. Garbage cans are emptied prior to them using it. And I kind of, tidy up the best I can, maybe vacuum if it's necessary. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world not to have a cleaning service, but there's going to be a need for some deep cleaning pretty soon.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Do we have a date on that, Robin, when they're gonna use it?
I think it was February 10th.
Okay, just so I can check in afterwards on that. Okay, on to new business. Discussion or decision of annexation notice questionnaire for properties at the corner of Highway B and Highway V.
Okay, I did reach out to Steve Mass check with the county because the city's annexing the road right away. And I wanted to make sure that the county wasn't going to object to that. And they don't have any issues. They just soon the city take it over. So I guess
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that either. And there's really nothing we can do to object to it because according to the boundary agreement, it's, you know, we can't object to the situation like this. I wish they wouldn't have annexed to the city, but they decided to do that. It's within their rights to do that. So.
Yeah,
Make 'em-
well, yeah,
Go
it's unfortunate. I mean, obviously, we need another bank. There's nobody that wants to work, but we need another bank to put money in, I guess, so.
There's nothing you can spend your money on. Shelves are empty.
I guess.
I make a motion to approve the, or not to not object to the annexation of these properties.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposing the same sign, motion carries.
Okay, then I'll get the form that they provided filled out and sent in.
Discussion and or decision of amendments to the 2021 town budget.
You don't have
Those,
anything.
yeah, we don't have anything on those yet. Sharon was nice enough to give me the December bank statements and receivable official, you know, the deposit slips early so I could do some balancing. So we're balanced all the way through to the end of the year. And now that we know that the ARPA funds can be used, I'm going to relook at all the budget and start working on getting some final amendments set up for the February meeting. And you'll have this information well in advance because it's just about complete. So.
You knew the federal government was going to throw another curveball or knuckleball at the end there, didn't you?
You know, sometimes you think you have something under, you know, finally finished and then you get something like that. But I guess it's a positive for us because we can
It's a
use it for
hittable.
things.
Yeah, it's a hittable one. That's what we like.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to take some of the expenses that we paid this month that really should be applied to last year's budget and make sure those are all in place as well, so that we're not eating up this year's budget already with last year's expenses.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Discussion or decision of a proposed resolution to increase the town's tax levy.
I guess that's probably mine, but I reached out to the Towns Association, and I think you all saw the response back from the attorney up there that said that for a town under population of 3,000, you can do it. You can increase the tax levy by resolution instead of instead of a referendum. So town has been doing resolutions since 2015. Did one in 2015, then they did one in 2017 for the $150,000 every year to pay off loans. But rather than continue that and take out loans, reached out to them to see if we could do it a different way, and you can do it on she said that you can do it on an ongoing basis. So you pass a resolution with the amount that you want to increase your levy by on an ongoing basis. So that's done every year. Automatically, the process is the town passes the resolution first, then it goes to the special meeting of the electors, and then they can decide if they don't want to pass the amount that you suggested, they can deny it and then make a suggestion on a different cost. Let's say we went for 200,000. They said, no, we're only going to allow 175,000. Then the town has to go back, do another resolution, pass it, then present it to the special meeting again of the electors until it gets passed. that's the process. So I thought it's best to start now. If you want to try to hit the April annual meeting.
Yep.
So, and then I guess the only other thing is, once it's passed, then you send it to the Department of Revenue, and then they apply it to the general tax revenue that they send out, which is allowed by the town every year. They determine that number, so that would be added onto that. It would be designated for highway purposes only, and in the resolution. And then I guess the only other thing is, what do you want? I mean, we've been doing 150,000, so it wouldn't be a hit to the taxpayer if we continued that number. But if you wanted to go up, I think David suggested he'd like to entertain 200,000. So that's an additional $50,000. And that would be an 11% increase, which would amount to about $10.72 per $100,000 of assessed value. Okay.
Yep.
If you went for an additional 25,000, that's a 5.5% increase, which is a $5.40 per 100,000, or any number, whatever you think we should go. But whatever, that's my input.
No, that's good. Yeah, that's good input in math, Jim. I 100% agree. I think we all saw the what we're staring at for road projects and other things, and those aren't friendly numbers. I also feel, especially with the sewer and sanitation thing coming down the pipeline, we're better off doing it sooner than later, because I'm not sure what those costs are going to look like, but they're definitely going up, or they're going to go up at least double, triple. It depends on whatever they decide on for many of the residents that are on that. So
yeah, and you got a school referendum hanging out there sometime too. Probably.
Right, it's gonna, yeah, exactly.
And a fire station and everything.
And a town hall.
It's kind of
It
like
just keeps
hard.
coming.
And the library expansion possibly.
I think the people realize that roads are very important, and some of the roads in the town are in real bad shape. And I think with the Whistler report that is being done by R.A. Smith now for us, that's going to be a good tool to help sell this. So I think the time, like you said, Tom, the time is right now to go after it for the April meeting, I think.
Yep.
And
yeah,
I don't know, you can always go for 200,000, do some education, talk about it the next couple months, make sure the public is aware that it's not 200,000, it's only an additional 50,000.
Correct.
And what the impact's going to be to them, and try to sell it by April, and get the resolution drawn up and passed by the town board in March. Yeah.
Yeah. My gut on it too is if you don't shoot for 200 and you go lower, then they can come back and cut that in half, and then at that point it's like, why are we even doing it? So I think Dave made a great suggestion last fall, and I'm glad that you picked this up again, and that we're going to move it forward here.
So by next month, do you want to have a draft of a resolution with 200,000 listed on that? Is that the idea then?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And
to be continuous, right, Jim?
Yes, ongoing.
Yep.
Continuous and for highway use.
Right. Highway use only.
And I think, Robin, you're going to have to work with the Department of Revenue to fill that out, because there's a lot of information there that they only have. It would have to be on our March agenda to get it passed, because you need to publish it then, and there's a 30-day period, and so there's some time constraints to get it by April's annual meeting. March, if we don't hit March, then it just goes on to the fall, I guess, when we do the budget hearing. But Sooner we get it done, the better, I guess.
I agree.
Well, and if it waits until fall, the one thing we have to keep in mind is we cannot then collect the 150,000 that we're currently collecting, because then the loan that
Bingo.
that money is being used for will be done.
In 2023.
Right.
And we just got, at this last budget meeting, they approved the 150,000 for 2 years to pay off the
Okay.
outstanding loan. So I think we're good till 2023, fall of 2023, but.
But
it's
we want
better
to get it started now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you need a motion? Do you need a
Yeah.
motion
Yep.
to?
Yeah, let's just, to move that forward to get that drafted.
I'd make a motion that we draw up a resolution for a $200,000 tax levy increase to be used for road purposes.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right.
All opposed on the same side. Motion carried unanimously to make that proposed resolution. Draft that proposed resolution. Discussion and or decision of 2022 town highway projects and maintenance. I just wanted to get this on there mainly because we want to get well ahead of potholes this year. Hopefully we don't endure too many, but at least get the start on that and potentially get out some estimations on a few things based on that plan. It looked like in year one, in that plan, as far as what Corey presented, he did have something about a 2-phase deal on Britsky Road of resurfacing that. And I believe that was based on he based his figures on $80,000 per year for maintenance kind of stuff. So he split that cost because obviously we have a lot of other costs with snow and brushing and other things. But the big thing is by the time we hit February, it'd be nice to February and March be able to pull a trigger on a few things that we're going to do this next year. It's a little bit difficult right now because of the budgeting stuff kind of weighing out there, and we don't know what kind of winter we're going to have. But the potholes we can jump on, I think, fairly early based on what we saw last year, and hopefully get in amount proof. Not that we're going to use that entire amount, but leave it at the discretion that it can be brought back, like after I go through and do another, early spring, late February road thing and find them and say, okay, out of the X 10,000 that we approved, it looks like we need about 5 of that right now. But, potentially leaving some of that in there because we do incur a few other potholes throughout the year as well. Brushing, I think we're way behind on. We saw the list. We got a few of the bigger ones taken care of this fall, but it was, it wasn't a lot. So we're gonna have to probably put a few funds there, more than what we put on it this year. And of course, we always have a few other things laying out there as well. But I didn't know what your thoughts are from reading through all those reports. It's a lot of information to digest, but.
Well, the first thought was we don't have a lot of money, but
Right.
then the federal government handed us a nice present with ARPA funds. So that helps out a lot. But Robin, you said, do you think much of that ARPA money is going to be needed to balance the budget from last year?
I think the one part that we should try to use it for is that overage for the fire protection.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the one thing I had in mind. I was gonna look at what they approved it could be used for further to see if there's anything else that might apply and then run it by you guys. But I haven't had much of a chance to read through the details of what they sent out yet. But I did see the fire protection was on there, and I saw that as a big opportunity to balance our budget that we went over on because of the increase at the city.
Right, and I think there was some legal fees that probably are a little higher than what we budgeted to, but maybe we can
Quite
make
a
that
bit
all up.
higher,
Pardon?
quite a bit higher.
Yeah, so, but, there's always money, hopefully there's some money left in some of the other accounts that we can shuffle around and things like that, but some of it will be used for that, and then we get another the second half sometime this spring, don't we? I don't know what that date is, but there's
Yeah,
another $112,000 coming sometime.
right.
Sharon,
I
do you
think-
know- did you receive that already?
Pardon?
Just
I'm with-
checking to see if Sharon knows. She's the one that receives the wire transfers when that comes in. Just seeing if she knows if that has been received yet.
No, not yet.
Okay.
The other thing I
anyway-
was kind of thinking too on that ARPA money is because it can be used for fire protection, and if the referendum goes through, it would really, I mean, between our next half coming and the half we already have, and if we have to come up with, over $300,000 for a potential fire station expansion, that could make one heck of a down payment. Not that we don't need to clean up some of the other stuff, but if we could pay for half of our commitment, I think that would really be sweet. Just keep it in mind.
Yeah, I think that's a great suggestion. I'll always advise that let's keep it to the easy ones, because where there's any gray areas in any of these broad categories, wherever the easy ones are that are really easy to achieve, and fire is probably going to be one of them, to direct it that way, versus rolling the dice and then having them come back and say, well, we didn't like that. Now you
Yeah,
get
you're right. Yeah. Think about it.
Yeah, I agree. We got time to think about it. It's there though for some use. As far as the loan for the Crossman Road, is you get those papers sent in, Robin, for the reimbursement from the state?
We need to receive the levy or the lien releases yet from Payne and Dolan. Corey and I are working on that. We have the payment that we approved tonight for the second part. And Corey advised to make sure all payments are done before we seek the reimbursement. I've got as much as I can get ready together to send in, but because we're waiting for those lien releases, we're kind of dead in the water till we have that.
Okay.
So you're not going to make that final payment until you get the lien waivers, are you?
That's my understanding. There's still, after the payment we made tonight, there's still a balance of what was originally bid of about $25,000. It was my understanding from Corey that we may not use that full amount, but yet we still have the guardrail and stuff to deal with. If Payne and Dolan are the ones that do that work, then they probably going to want to use that remaining balance. I think we need to get to the point of where we know that had the final costs of this project paid, so that we can submit the reimbursement for the reimbursement.
It doesn't matter, I don't think, because the state, from what I understand, from what Corey said the last meeting, the state capped the amount they're gonna pay regardless.
Right.
And
For
that's
the project.
$435,400. That's all we're getting, no matter what this project costs, so. And we've already spent that, so whenever you get the papers, you just send her in.
That was my understanding too. So
Okay.
once I get that lien waiver, I'm going to be confirming that with Corey and then getting it sent in.
It's kind of unfortunate that, well, I guess I wasn't aware of that, but whatever. I don't know if anybody was aware that they capped it at that amount. I was always thinking it was a 90 or 70-30 project. I don't know, whatever.
You can't keep up with those things. They
Well, and
change
I-
so much.
it
I think that was due to the change. I think that was
Yeah.
due to the change of what kind of grant it was too.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even that Rock Lake Road one was a goofy one. Because that started out as something different and then it changed. So, yeah. I guess I'm looking to see how I should proceed. Do you want me to go after just some of the simple estimations for the, on some of the things that Corey proposed for at least this year, and just have those ready for the February board meeting?
Yeah, I think if you take a look at how much money we have and then come up with a list of roads, projects, and we'll talk about it in February. I think that's a good plan.
Okay. And I don't think we need to make a decision on potholes tonight. We can do that in February as well. He's not going to be filling anything till March anyway.
Right.
But the sooner we let him, get that accomplished and get him
Yeah.
in the know about, to get done a lot earlier.
Stay ahead of it.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good to me. So do we need a motion for me to go ahead and get some estimations put together?
I'll make a motion that Tom prepare a list of projects based on the budget that we have for 2022 and have it prepared by February.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, all opposed in the same sign. Motion carried unanimously. Get some estimations put together, drafted for the February meeting. All righty, correspondence.
I don't really have anything other than what you had talked about earlier from Susan with some of the foam, PF, whatever it was, foam. I've been pretty much emailing everything to you guys as we've received things.
Yeah, I got a phone call on snow stuff, removal stuff, but it's kind of is what it is.
Well, and that's a good reminder. If people have issues with snow removal, they do need to be contacting me. And I
Yeah.
write that down, note it, and then make sure that our contractor is aware of what the issue is so they can address it.
Yeah, no, exactly. So,
I did have one call from a person on Fayetteville Road. It had drifted in and then they complained, a few cars went off the road, I guess. So I did call Milford. They got out there right away that same day and got it taken care of. So they were responsive. Cleaned it up and salted and sanded it.
yeah, which we haven't been dealing with any wind lately, that's for sure. Oh, man. Well, we don't have a lot of snow because it'd be a lot worse. The wind.
Yeah.
Be ugly.
All righty, meeting scheduled February 1st, 2022, Plan Commission meeting, 7 PM Town Hall. February 3rd, 2022, Parks Committee meeting, 7 PM Town Hall. February 8th, 2022, Town Board meeting, 7 PM at the Town Hall. February 10th, 2022, Joint Rock Lake Committee meeting at 6 PM City Hall.
Just
Yeah,
want to
also-
note too, the Joint Rock has a meeting on the 13th of
Yeah,
this month.
next week, yep.
No, later this week.
Be Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday, my bad. Yeah, the 13th, that's right. Okay, can we get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion adjourned to the Town Board, Town of Lake Mills at 8:40.